deep in the Cowboys. They'll start 7:30 Eastern Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. In the other NFC wildcard game, the Eagles are a 5.5-point underdog on the road against the Bears on Sunday. Nick Foles will start despite bruising his ribs in Sunday's win. Foles has led the Eagles to 3 straight wins, and he has proven himself in the playoffs. The reigning Super Bowl MVP has thrown 8 touchdowns with only 1 pick in his 4 playoff games. Shannon, how dangerous are the Eagles going into the playoffs?
They're a dangerous team, but I don't believe they'll beat the Bears. The Bears are loaded defensively. #1 scoring D, #1 rush D, #1 in takeaways, 3rd in sacks, 7th in pass D. And the one thing that Philly can't really do, Skip, is run the football, especially consistently. And once the Bears and Vic Fangio, the defense coordinator, all teams try to make you one-dimensional. Everybody wants to shut your run off and then pin their ears back and come get your quarterback. So I believe that's what the Bears will do. Now, Foles has been unbelievable in the playoffs. And what he brings them, Skip, is a confidence that everything's going to be okay. Especially after what he did in the NFC Championship, especially what he did in the what he did in the Super Bowl. And then to follow it up, and basically they have to win out in order to get into the playoffs. And he does that. He's done it. So they have a confidence in him that everything's going to be okay. But I just don't know if I don't think they'll be able to run the football. And when you can't run the football against a team that has #1s in scoring D and rush and in takeaways, that lets Khalil Mack, that let Hicks, that let Floyd, that let some of those guys pin their ears back and come get your quarterback. And plus, he's banged up. So we don't know how healthy he's going to be. Probably put some medicine in that rib cage area, Skip, and have him go out there. But I don't think. Can they be dangerous? Yes, they can be. But I don't expect them to win this game.
So, right now, the Philadelphia Eagles have become the one team I would not want to play in the postseason because they have turned back into a Super Bowl type of a force. And that's all because of the presence of Nick Foles. I would not want to be Philadelphia management if Nick Foles goes on yet another playoff run.
Well, that's another thing.
Puts them into a really between the rock and the hard place position of, what do? We let him go? What do we do?
Rock in a harder place.
Well, harder place, that is for sure. And just for the record, I believe that Nick Foles and company are going to upset the Bears in Chicago. And just for the record, I was half kidding with one of our security guards down in the lobby on Friday, who's a big Philadelphia fan from Philadelphia, and I was just sort of surmising and putting 2 + 2 together, and I thought, gee, wouldn't it be something if the Eagles upset the Bears, and then if the Eagles went to New Orleans and upset the Saints in that hardest place to play in the world? And wouldn't it be something if the Cowboys beat Seattle and then went to the Rams and upset the Rams? And guess what?
Oh, Lord.
Guess what that would mean, Mr. Sharp? That would mean the NFC Championship game would be Philadelphia at Jerry World. And I got to tell you, I would not love my team's chances in that scenario because of Nick Foles.
So, in other words, you want all your prayers answered in the first month of the 2019 year, huh? Because that's a prayer.
Okay, I'll take the prayer of Dallas in the championship game, but I would. I'm telling you, if it's Nick Foles at quarterback, my team already beat your quarterback twice, Carson Wentz. Beat him twice. Beat him in Philly to start the 7 out of 8 run and beat him in midstream in Dallas. And it was a shootout, but my quarterback, I don't know how he did this. He threw for 243 yards in the 4th quarter in overtime, 17 of 20. I don't know how he does that. He can't throw. He's not accurate. But I don't know. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And I would fear my team against Nick Foles because I fear Nick Foles in that offense. It just looks different to me with him operating it. He operates with poise under fire. I do not consistently see from Carson Wentz. Obviously, Carson Wentz is extremely talented. He's big and strapping, and he can run a little bit, though he couldn't run quite as well this year coming off his big knee reconstruction. But Nick Foles moves around pretty well at 6. I think he's 6'6". I believe he is because he's a former basketball player.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip, but also what they're going to have to look at is that Carson Wentz has been hurt an awful lot. He was hurt in college. Remember, he missed like 3 or 4 games his senior year in college. So we're starting to see a reoccurring theme where he can't finish the season on the field. But we'll debate that another day. Chicago can run the ball better than people think. I think they're 11th in running.
I got that.
Howard and Tariq Cohen. But here's the thing. The unknown is that Trubisky, his legs are better than you think.
Oh, they're great. He led the quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing.
I think Lamar passed him at the end.
Did he? At the end, maybe he did. But all year he was.
But you remember, Skip, how he was doing the Patriots. Yeah. He looked like Michael Vick against the Patriots, running all over the field. And he almost brought them back against the Patriots, and they were on the 1-yard line from getting the game into overtime with a PAT. So but I just don't know in a situation where if you can't run the football, how you go with a team that can come get you like the Bears can. And they started, and the Bears, they're thinking like, okay, this is 85, 86 all over again, where we can come pin our ears back. And, and when they got to the Super Bowl, I think it was 06, they had a tight defense with Urlacher and Briggs and Peanut Tillman that could take the ball away. They could come get you with a Goonlier and putting pressure on the quarterback, Tommy Harris. So we're going to see, Skip. I don't believe the Eagles can win. But this could be a very dangerous team because they believe. And there's something to be said with a belief that
in Nick Foles.
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
So over the 3 games that he's picked them up and started, he averages 321 yards passing. He led the NFL in completion percentage because at Washington, he completed 25 straight passes. That is hard to do. That did it tie the NFL?
It tied the NFL record. And then he had a flat rod to Aguilar and it was a little behind him and he dropped it.
Okay. So do I have to remind everyone that in the NFC Championship game against the #1 ranked defense, Minnesota's back, that was in Philadelphia last year, he goes 26 of 33 for 352 and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. And then against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, 28 of 43 for 373, 3 touchdowns, and did have 1 interception, but had a QBR of 89, which was better than Brady. So he outplayed Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
He was better.
Those are 2.
Ain't no outplayed, he was better.
I keep telling you, I can't remember in my time of covering the National Football League 2 better games, back-to-back championship games, Super Bowl, than Nick Foles played at quarterback. Well, there has to be some value. It can't be an aberration because 1 year under Chip Kelly, he went 27 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. There's something there that is really good. It's very different than Carson Wentz, but it's really good. And I don't think it was any silly, any blip in the radar that they built a little shrine in Chris Long's locker to Nick Foles. And Chris built that. Yeah, but it sounded like everybody co-signed on it, right?
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox was co-signed. I think he contributed to it.
All them candles.
Yeah. Shrine.
Right. It was a shrine because they know that in Nick they trust. Right. They just do. He's their Saint Nick. So, I would fear this team if I were the Bears because it's hot right now. And what is Nick Foles doing that Carson Wentz didn't consistently do? Spreading the ball and finding the...
Now, the thing is with Nick Foles, Foles throwing the ball over the top of your head. He's throwing the ball to Alshon, getting big plays. He's throwing the ball to Aguilar, getting big plays.
So in these 3 games, Alshon's caught 16 for 301 yards, and Zach Ertz has caught 18 for 147 yards. But they're 50-50 on catches, and then all of a sudden the bombs away are going to the stud receiver, the wideout. Okay, that's dangerous. That's a formula for upsetting Chicago at Chicago.
Well, the thing is that the Bears don't normally give up big plays. The question is Eddie Jackson, because right now this year he played a lot like Ed Reed.
Yep.
See, it's not good enough for him to get his hands on the ball. He's trying to turn getting his hands on the ball into points. He's trying to put the ball into the end zone. He's getting scoop and scores. He's getting pick 6. So he's a ball hawk. Now, when they shut the run off and you have Foles back there, so now that gives Khalil Mack's a man, Skip. I mean, he's putting 330-pound mans on their behind with one hand. So, and now you got him and Akeem Hicks up the middle, who had an unbelievable year. And you got Floyd. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
That Eagles offensive line, it hasn't played up to its potential, but it is loaded with stars, right?
Yeah.
So if Nick Foles is like 85% healthy, I don't know what he's going to be. But he's going to have to be able to take some shots. He's going to have to withstand some punishment.
You don't build a shrine for someone you don't respect. They're trying to become the first team to repeat as champs since the 03-04 Patriots. That would be impressive.
It's not an easy thing.
It's not
you would know.
Thing to do. All right, is LeBron coming back to the Lakers anytime soon? We'll discuss what the latest is with Chris Broussard next.
Fox tonight, the hit show returns.
Smell that? That is rancid.
Can Gordon save them?
I can't do this by myself.
Before they lose everything?
My time is done. Now I've got to go.
24 Hours to Hell and Back premieres tonight on Fox.
McDonald's 2 for $5 mix and match deal is back. And the fresh beef quarter pounder with cheese is the new headliner. Mix your choice of 2 favorites on the Remix 2 for $5 mix and match deal.
Hey, Daryl, would you choose the network rated #1 in the nation by the experts or the one awarded by the people? Correct. You don't have to choose, because,
Oh! Switch to the network awarded by Root Metrics and JD Power. Buy the latest Galaxy phones, get Galaxy S9 free.
Good morning.
More treatment.
We're going to try something different today.
Oh, so pretty.
Dogs bring out the good in us. Pedigree brings out the good in them.
Come, Pamplemousse, since you are my guest, I will try your meat.
Indeed, it's got an amazing mouthfeel. No, really take in the layered aromas.
They're layered.
It's got a fantastic after essence. Yeah, and of course, an umami-like complexity.
You know what, I tried, I can't. Bud Light, please. And show these 2 to the wine cellar.
The wine cellar?
Bud Light.